When I first started riding, I would dream of one day having the confidence and the skill to ride one of the tightest mountain roads at a fun pace just easily. So years later, I was able to finally do this, but how? So you first have to have realistic expectations and understand this is a process that will take time, and how much time greatly depends on the rider. So, do you ride once a week or do you ride every day? This will produce very different results. The same for someone who only practices playing the piano once a week versus someone who practices daily, right? The more you do it, the better you usually get. So, this is one of the most common questions I get is how do I get over or how do I manage the fear of leaning? And of course, it makes total sense to have that fear because you're on a two-wheeled machine and you're leaning the bike and getting closer to the ground on purpose for fun. And it's natural to have that fear, so myself included, right? So here are five tips that will help your fear of leaning. So number one, I 100% believe this more than almost anything else. You have to have confidence in the brakes because this summarizes almost everything. Why would you go fast if you can't stop fast? So once you know how much you could slow down and how well the brakes work on your bike and you practice doing that, you won't have you'll have less fear to actually accelerate and get your speed up a little bit more when you know you could slow down. If you don't have any confidence slowing the bike down, it's going to be very hard to convince that person to go a little bit faster, right? Number two, I want you to focus on middle of the corner to the exit and practice accelerating out of the corner. Not worrying at all about mid-corner speed, lean angle, entry speed, none of that stuff. Just from the middle of the corner and then to the exit of the corner, just practice standing the bike up, taking away the lean angle, and accelerating up out of the corner just to get used to driving out of the corner. That's what I want you to focus on first. Eventually, then I'm going to say it again, you slowly add entry speed where you go into the corner a bit quicker, maybe 5 miles per hour quicker of the same turn the next time once you're confident with it. Then maybe you go a little bit quicker, then you start to realize, oh, it's kind of freaking you out a little bit. Okay, back off a little bit. And then keep on practicing, focus on mid corner to exit, and then just slowly build that entry speed, slowly build that entry speed. Number four is, well, that's number three. You slowly build your entry speed. Number four is take more training. Go back to school, right? Take some formal courses. Champ was online, so you could go through that anywhere in the world. And the last thing, and this is not the most important, but this really will make or break the rider, right? You have to think like a scientist, meaning go out and experiment. So go out and try the wrong lines, like air quotes, wrong lines. Start on the wrong side of the road. Start on the inside, then go back to the outside, then back to the inside. Start by using rear brake only, and then go ride like that for 5 miles, and then front brake only, and then both brakes. And then try using your body position, then no body position. You just have to feel things out and experiment. On this ride that you're watching right now, this was the first part of a ride of about 200 miles all through the twisties, and after going up the mountain right here, we went back down the mountain. I did something completely different. I didn't move my butt whatsoever. I pretty much stayed straight up and down like a statue, and I was mostly focusing on foot placement, like my outside foot on my heel, inside foot moving around. So just think like an experiment and try different things out. But if you have patience with yourself and understand mistakes will happen and you're going to correct for errors and you're constantly going to try and improve. But if you know the brakes, if you focus on mid corner to exit, you slowly add entry speed, you take more courses, and you think like a scientist, your fear of leaning will be drastically under control, and you're gonna find yourself having way more fun without the stress of thinking about it so much.